My name is Frances Zainoeddin, representing the NGO Committee on Aging in New York. It took a convention in 1979 to put the world on notice to condemn discrimination against women and to the need to protect their human rights. It took a convention in 1989 to put the world on notice that children have rights which must be protected. It took a convention in 2006 to put the world on notice that persons with disabilities have rights which must be protected. All three international legal instruments highlighted specific groups that had been not only overlooked and ignored, but had been neglected, discriminated against, mistreated, and abused. The arguments at that time against the need for those conventions included referencing that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was all-inclusive and there was no need for specific separate conventions. But gaps in the international human rights framework were acknowledged. Thankfully, wisdom prevailed and governments, under pressure from civil society, realized that indeed the human rights of certain groups of people were in fact violated and needed protection. Another group of people are suffering now from violation of their rights: older persons. Age discrimination and ageism are rampant. I am an older person and fall into the category of the oldest old. I'm one of the lucky ones. I have good health, shelter, sufficient food. I have a pension and enjoy my independence. All of us at this conference know that there are millions of older persons, and the number is growing, who are much less fortunate, barely coping with unsatisfactory healthcare services, insufficient food, inadequate shelter, subject to violence, abuse, and neglect, with little or no social protection. Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states, "All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights." And I ask, until what age? At what age are older persons considered of no value and of little or no consequence, a burden on society? At what age should a person receive less attention, be ignored, or be ostracized? At what age should we lose autonomy, self-determination, and choice in all aspects of our lives? Some governments tell us that they already have effective legislation, policies, and programs, so, they say, a convention is not necessary. We applaud those governments that provide services and programs, but the absence of specific human rights protection means ignoring our freedom and equality in dignity and rights. Older persons must be viewed as rights holders and not merely recipients of medical rehabilitation and social benefits. This is why we need a convention. What happens to women, children, and persons with disabilities when they get older? Do they lose the attention and protection that they have enjoyed before reaching an age when they will again be viewed as a burden on society, of no economic value, to be ignored and mistreated once more? We have an abundance of evidence on age discrimination, including 13 years of discussion by the Open-Ended Working Group on Aging. Over 800 reports have been made available to member states on the status of older persons around the world. As far as protecting the human rights of older persons is concerned, governments have failed. An international legal instrument would view older persons as rights holders, codify the rights of older persons in one single document, recognizing the specific challenges related to aging and serving as a tool for both empowerment and protection. It would establish a common global understanding of definitions and minimum standards of practice. It would act as an anti-discriminatory tool to challenge prevailing negative stereotypes about old age. And it would require governments to collect data, develop indicators, establish laws and policies, and develop programs that take into account the rights and concerns of older persons. It would improve state accountability and transparency with respect to actions taken for older persons, including with their active participation. It would raise public awareness in respect of older persons' rights. It would create societies and environments for all ages where older persons are also able to contribute, prosper, and enjoy their rights. It is time to stop the prejudice against our future selves. Human rights apply to all people of all ages everywhere. Action must be taken to address the gaps in the International Human Rights Treaty framework. It is time for governments to agree that a convention is not only necessary, but the right thing to do. Thank you.